What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Catastrophe on YouTube shit. Hey man, we are lit. Let's just man, turn to motherfucking day. So hitting outside, big crip in the game, outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia, your thing, and Texas, stand the fuck up. Each day is a day to be a better version of yourself. Now let's not bring it down. I'll start back. Now let's not tell you who you are, but also not put yourself in a position you don't belong. Let's stay humble. Let's get a revolution on the movement. Keep y'all right first. Coming to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here. Alright. Boom. Today, to motherfucking day. So hitting outside, big crip in the game, hitting outside shit, man. Turn up. Go. Bruh. This is the sad situation, man. When niggas get them billies, them M&Ms, them billies, goofy shit starting to happen. Now, I hate to say this, man, because, you know, this is still gonna be black on black situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn. You know, these niggas get to these positions of making that bank, and they find some way to just keep on shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, for these niggas to make it this long is insane. So we got Diddy and 50 Cent beef escalating. Now, you know, Diddy, they said that nigga did a lot of shit. And he's supposed to be getting out soon, but I don't know. 50 Cent done got this documentary with Netflix. We gonna try to watch it and see what's going on. Hopefully the goofy shit going on. Shout out to all the people in this video we done watch the videos off of. But like I said, man, this shit's getting crazy, man. 50 Cent is trying to end that nigga Diddy. Like I said, man, this is black on black crime. But like I said, this beef that been going on, this beef been going on for a long ass time. So, hey, this shit is wild, man. So we finna get into 3, man. Shout out to Hip Hop Daily. We finna break down the 50 Cent and P. Diddy beef. Man, P. Diddy looked like he was about to come to the crib. 50 Cent dropped the whole Diddy bomb, bitch.
50 Cent has been trolling Diddy ever since he got arrested. Most fans have no idea how serious the beef is. From 50 getting blackballed in the industry to his homies getting killed in the streets, Diddy's been around for it all. And today, we're breaking down the whole crazy story. Everyone has been seeing 50 take wild shots at Diddy, but their beef goes all the way back to when 50 Cent was trying to break into the rap game. 50 Cent came up in the streets of Queens and was active in the trenches way before he got into the rap game. 50's mom hustled drugs in the street, but she tragically died in a fire when 50 was just 8 years old. 50 ended up living with his grandparents, and by the time he was 12, he was already moving weight just like his mom. 50 got arrested for drugs and guns a couple of times, and that's when he decided to start rapping. Back in 96, 50 linked up with Jam Master Jay and was on his way up. They recorded a full album together that never got released, and then 50 got a deal with Columbia Records. 50 dropped his first record, Power of the Dollar, in 2000, and his name was buzzing in New York off his track How to Rob. How to Rob was all about 50 rapping about jacking famous rappers, and he name-dropped Diddy on the track and rapped, "You better recognize, nigga, I'm straight from the street. These industry niggas are starting to look like something to eat. I snatched Kim. Tell Puff, you want to see her again? Dance your ass down to the nearest ATM." 50 also talks about robbing Jay-Z, Wu-Tang Clan, Fat Joe, and way more, and the track blew up in the city. Nas heard the track and wanted 50 to go on tour with him, but then 50 got shot up, and everything changed. 50 got hit up 9 times and almost died. Then while he was in the hospital, Columbia Records dropped him from the label because of his track Ghetto Quran. Ghetto Quran is allegedly why 50 got shot, because he name-dropped a dude named Kenneth Supreme McGriff. Supreme allegedly put a bag on 50's head, and when 50 survived the shooting, Supreme told everyone in the industry to stop rocking with him. 50 couldn't get anything popping in New York after that, so he went up to Canada and got right back to the grind. Back in the day, rappers didn't really put out their own mixtapes. Usually it was DJs making the tapes. But 50 Cent changed all of that. 50 started recording his own tracks using the hottest beats on the radio and made his own mixtapes. Everyone was rocking with 50's new music, but a lot of labels were afraid to sign him because 50 was too street. People in New York are paying attention though. And in 2001, 50 linked up with Diddy and started ghostwriting for him. Diddy was dating Jennifer Lopez back then, and she's the one who pushed Diddy into working with 50 Cent. 50 wrote Diddy's verse on the track Let's Get It, and rumors were flying that 50 was going to sign a deal with Bad Boy Records. But according to 50's homie Tony Yayo, Diddy didn't want to make the deal because of 50's drama was supreme.
Okay. For Bad Boy, a lot of people don't know that. We had the meeting, and it was so crazy that Diddy didn't sign him. I know that was one of the biggest mistakes of Bad Boy. And, you know, the Preem situation, and, you know, a lot of people were scared of Preem. 50 wasn't.
According to 50 Cent, he never really wanted to work with Diddy, even when he was trying to get started in the rap game. 50 told the Hollywood Reporter that when he got back to work after the shooting, Diddy was hitting him up to come write verses, and 50 didn't want to do it. But his baby mama told him they were broke and needed the money, and that's why 50 started working with Diddy. A lot of people didn't even know that 50 Cent had been ghostwriting for Diddy. But in 2002, 50 dropped the track You Not Like Me and raps, hoes be like, 50, you so witty. On the dick like they heard, I ghostwrite for Diddy. You got fat while we starved, it's my turn. I done felt how the shells burn, I still won't learn. That same year, 50 remixed the track Niggas from the Notorious B.I.G. and raps, I run the city, and I don't dance around like Diddy. Niggas is giddy, till they're smack silly or spray with the Mac Millie. They don't want drama, really. 50 was taking little shots, but it wasn't real beef yet. And in 2003, 50 won Best Rap Video at the MTV Music Awards for In the Club. Diddy was the one announcing the winner, and he showed 50 love and dapped him up on stage. Then a year later, Diddy was celebrating the 10th anniversary of Bad Boy Records. He dropped an album called 10th Anniversary, The Hits. Diddy featured 50 and his homie Lloyd Banks on the track Victory, and Diddy rapped, yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine together. Better now than never. Business before pleasure.
They used to be best
Diddy and
friends,
the fam, who you know do it better. 50 Cent and Diddy were cool,
But he got
even though
something
50 had
for
taken
that.
a couple shots at him in the booth. They were even linking up in the studio. But then in 2005, everything started to fall apart. And it was all sparked because 50 wanted to sign one of Diddy's artists. After the Notorious B.I.G. got killed, Mace stepped up and kept Bad Boy Records from going under. Mace's first album dropped the year after Biggie died and debuted at #1 on the pop and R&B charts. Mace had a ton of hit tracks and was carrying the whole Bad Boy label. And in 98, he started his own label called All Out Records. Fans couldn't wait for Mace's next project. And in 99, he dropped his album Double Up and sold over 100K copies in the first week. Mace was one of the hottest rappers in the game. But then he shocked everyone and announced that he was retiring to become a pastor. There's a lot of different rumors about why Mace left the rap game. Some people claim that Mace was involved in a deadly beef with the hustler from Harlem named Baby Mane. Baby Mane and Mace allegedly started beefing over a woman. Then Mace's homie Pop Lottie got involved with the situation too. Pop Lottie was another well-known dude in the streets, and Baby Mane allegedly sliced Pop Lottie in the face. Most of the stories just rumors that were never confirmed, but Pop Lottie and Baby Mane both ended up getting killed. And a lot of people think Mace was running from the beef. But according to other sources, the real reason Mace retired is because he didn't want to be around Diddy anymore. Diddy's the one who put Mace on when he was trying to get into the rap game, but Diddy played him and convinced Mace to sign a bad deal. Mace grew up playing basketball with Cameron, and when Cameron decided to take rap seriously, Mace brought Cam to Biggie instead of Diddy. Mace already had a deal with Diddy, so people thought Cam would do the same thing, but Mace said he took Cam to Biggie instead because he knew Biggie wouldn't try to play him like Diddy would. A few years after Mace retired, he decided to come back to the rap game and started rocking with 50 Cent. 50 brought Mace on tour with him, and Mace told MTV that 50 Cent and Jay-Z were the only ones who had reached out to sign him. Diddy said in interviews that he would be cool with Mace signing to 50's label, and everyone thought Mace was about to join G-Unit. 50 even put Mace in the video for his track Window Shopper, and what a lot of people didn't know is that 50 was taking shots at Diddy on the track too. The track opens up with 50 saying, the top feels so much better than the bottom. So much better.
That's a fact.
Everyone thought 50 was talking about taking
Nigga,
over the rap
damn,
game.
you want to be
But
at
it
the
was also a
bottom
shot
alone?
about Diddy hooking up with dudes.
Oh, the top
In
alone.
2018,
Already at the
50
top
confirmed
alone
the
and the
line was
bottom.
about Diddy.
They talking
Mace was also
about
featured on the soundtrack for 50's movie, Get Rich or Die Trying. But their deal never went through because of Diddy. 50 was ready to spend
They
$1
said it's
million
only
to
at
buy
the
Mace
top,
out of
bitch.
his
It's
Bad
only
Boy
at the
contract.
bottom, bitch.
But Diddy tried to play him
They
and asked for
talking
$2
about
million. 50 said Mace wasn't worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket and told DJ Funk Flex that Diddy tried to pull some sucker shit with the deal.
Yeah, I was like, what you looking for that? He said $2 million. I'm like, Mace ain't worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket. Is you crazy?
It was clear that Diddy was just trying to play 50, because Jimmy Iovine even offered to let 50 and Diddy keep all the profits from Mace's next project. 50 Cent was under Jimmy Iovine's label, Interscope Records, and usually Interscope would take a lot of money from anyone on 50's label. But Jimmy Iovine knew that 50 wanted the deal with Diddy to work, so he offered to let them keep all the profits that Mace's album made. It was a crazy deal, but Diddy still didn't go for it just to mess with 50. After the Mace deal went left, 50 really started beefing with Diddy and dropped a wild diss on him and rapped, "Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get him, they gon' kill us all." Man, Puffy know who hit that nigga. Man, that nigga soft. He scared them boys from the west side will break him off. Dump on his ass, so he run to Harlem to shake him off. Everyone knows about Diddy's freak-offs now, but 50 was dissing Diddy over his parties all the way back in 2006. And at the end of the Diddy diss track, he said, "Oh, I guess I won't be invited to the white parties in the Hamptons. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hang out with your punk ass no way." Then 50 aired Diddy out over the Mace situation and said, "Give me motherfucking run around this nigga Mace. Now you want to play games? Don't want to make the deal, nigga? Man, I'll fuck your shit up, nigga." 50 had spent a lot of money dragging Mace around while he was trying to make a deal with Diddy. And 50 said, "Now you go on and send me $50,000 for this nigga travel fees, you know, airfare, hotel space, for that last tour, nigga, or I'll really service your ass, nigga." 50 also sent a shot at Diddy that nobody caught for years. At the end of the track, 50 said, "Alright, I see what you're trying to do, but I don't know why you're doing what you're trying to do. Why you want to make me tell everybody what Misa told me?" Misa Hilton is a stylist and fashion designer who worked with artists on Bad Boy Records like Lil' Kim. She dated Diddy back when he was still an intern at Uptown Records, and that's how she got started in the industry. Misa Hilton and Diddy were on and off again while he was taking over the industry, and according to Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, Diddy beat Misa so bad that she had to crawl under a car just to get away from it.
He beat that woman till she was crawling up under a car, man.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how small she was crawling up under a car, man.
Most people had no idea what Diddy was doing to Misa, but after a video came out showing Diddy putting hands on Cassie Ventura, Misa hopped on Instagram and said that seeing the video triggered her own trauma. It's not clear how 50 knew it was going down, but he was already threatening to expose Diddy way back in the day. At that point, it looked like 50 already hated Diddy, but a year later, the whole rap game was shocked because 50 and Diddy performed at Madison Square Garden together. T.I. was hosting Scream Fest at the Garden, and he was able to get Kanye, 50, Diddy, and Jay-Z all on stage at the same time. At one point during the show, Diddy tried to put his arm around 50, and you can tell that 50 didn't want Diddy touching him like that. But that same year, 50 also featured Diddy and Jay-Z on a remix for his track, I Get Money. 50 had just made $100 million off of vitamin water after Coca-Cola bought the company out. And with all the money he made from music too, 50 was one of the richest dudes in the rap game. Nobody was making more cash than 50, Jay-Z, and Diddy at the time. All three of them were featured in Forbes, so they all linked up to flex on the track. Fans were shocked that 50, Jay, and Diddy were all on the same track. But in 2024, Broadway All Day hopped on Reddit and explained how it went down. Broadway All Day is the director who made the video for the original version of I Get Money. According to Broadway, 50's manager, Chris Lighty, was working on some huge deals behind the scenes that involved 50, Jay-Z, and Diddy. 50 agreed to put Jay-Z and Diddy on the track, even though there was some drama, but the business deals never worked out. In 2024, after Diddy got booked by the feds, 50 Cent went on the Breakfast Club and talked about the track. Charlamagne the God brought up how people thought 50 wrote Diddy's verse, where Diddy was confessing to crimes, and rapped, "Bo knows, but Diddy did it. Cars, jewelry, and big homes, yeah, Diddy did it. Shootouts, coastal beefs, yeah, Diddy did it. But my lawyer's so good that Diddy got acquitted." But 50 Cent told the Breakfast Club, I ain't tell him to say that. 50 said Jay helped him write Diddy's verse, and Jay is the one who wrote those lines. 50 said Diddy knew what he wanted to say, so he told Jay-Z, and Jay wrote the bars for him. It's not...
Jay, help me with that. Jay, help me with that. Jay, help me with that. Jay did that part right there. What he said.
He wrote the lines, though, because Broadway All Day claimed that 50's homie Lloyd Banks is the one who wrote Diddy's verse. The track ran up crazy numbers, but it almost didn't come out because of more drama behind the scenes. Broadway All Day's girlfriend was given a CD with a bunch of beats on it by a dude who claimed he was a producer. Broadway heard the beats and knew they were hot, so he handed the CD with the beats to an A&R at the label. It turned out that the dude who gave the CD to Broadway's girlfriend didn't actually make any of the beats, though. But by the time Broadway found out, 50 had already made the track and was going to shoot the video in a week. They couldn't use a beat without finding the real producer and paying them for it, though, and the track almost fell apart. Broadway knew his career was going to be over if that happened, so he tracked down the real producer and signed him to the label just in time for the video shoot. When 50 had Diddy on the I Get Money remix, it looked like everything was cool between them. And in 2008, 50 Cent crashed an interview Diddy was having with MTV so he could promote his own show. 50 and Diddy were joking around with each other during the interview and said they were friends. But it was clear that there was still some tension they weren't talking about. It took some more time before the beef really popped off, but Diddy was about to give 50 another reason to hate him. In 2008, Rick Ross was just getting started in the rap game. Ross got invited to the BET Awards that year and said that he saw 50 set up the awards and he didn't like how 50 looked at him. 50 claimed that he doesn't even remember Ross being at the show, but that night sparked a wild beef that's still going on today. Rick Ross took shots at 50 on the track Mafia Music and rapped, "I love to pay your bills, can't wait to pay your rent. Curtis Jackson, baby mama, I ain't asking for a cent. Burn the house down, you gotta buy another. Don't forget the gas can, jealous stupid motherfucker."
House
At
get
the
burnt
time,
down,
50 was fighting his baby mama, Shanika Tompkins, to get custody of their son Marquise. The house where Shanika was living ended up burning down, and she accused 50 of paying some goons to start the fire.
Mr. Jackson business. You do think so? Yes, I know so. Why do you say that? He threatened me on Monday. He did. He threatened me. Watch what I'll do. I have someone come kill you. He threatened me. Someone threw something through the window and the house is ignited. Couldn't even make it downstairs. We had to jump out the window. You think he hired someone to do this? Yes, of course. I know he's too much of a coward to do anything himself.
After Ross took a shot at 50 over the situation, 50 told Ross straight up that he was going to ruin his life just for fun.
I'm deciding to fuck your life up. Rick, bro, I'm gonna fuck your life up. For fun.
And that's when 50 started doing everything he could to destroy Rick Ross's career. 50 exposed Ross for working as a corrections officer in Florida before he got into the rap game and started dropping bars about being a drug lord. When the photos of Ross working as a CEO came out, Ross tried to claim it was cap and told all hip-hop that hackers put his face on other people's photos. Everyone knew Ross was lying about the situation though, and 50 made it even worse when he dropped the track Officer Ricky and rapped, "Fat fuck playing Wii Fit Nintendo. Have another tattoo, here's another tattoo. Run into my goon soon, have new bullet wounds. Officer Ricky, radio for backup. See ass anywhere, you know I'm gonna act up." And it's like every other word out your mouth about a bird. Like you sling cocaine, this shit is absurd. Use a rapper, use a motherfucking rapper. It's a rap. Your career is fucking wrapped up. Then 50 took the disrespect to another level and dragged Diddy and Rick Ross's baby mama into the beef. 50 linked up with Ross's baby mama, Tia Kemp, and did an interview with her about Rick Ross. Tia Kemp helped 50 expose Ross for capping in his raps. According to her,
look at what your options in a heartbeat for clout and money.
$200 a month on food, $300 a month on clothes. His jury is rented, possibly not real. His cars are being leased.
Then in the same video, 50 and Tia Kemp exposed Ross for having another kid with a prostitute.
Before you get confused in any way, like Rick also has a baby mother who's currently working as a call girl. He has a daughter by bro. Right there. Can you see that?
Then 50 brought Diddy into the beef too. Back then, 50 was tied with Floyd Mayweather, so he clowned Ross again and brought Tia Kemp and Ross's son to Floyd Mayweather's crib in Las Vegas. Diddy looked like he didn't know what was going on in the video and didn't want to be there. And it turns out there was more going on behind the scenes. In 2010, Diddy and Ross started linking up in the studio, and Diddy became Ross's manager. 50 doesn't rock with anyone who's cool with his ops, and Diddy was obviously choosing a side, and he even started a new crew at Ross called Bugatti Boys. 50 has always been dissing dudes who cap about their lifestyle. One of his first hits was the track Wanksta, and 50 took shots at studio gangsters with bars like, "You say you a gangster, but you never pop nothing. We say you a wankster, and you need to stop fronting." Everyone knows that Ross was capping about moving weight in the streets, but Diddy has been lying about his come up ever since he started Bad Boy Records. Diddy has always acted like he grew up in the trenches of Harlem. Diddy's dad was affiliated with a serious drug lord named Frank Lucas, and a lot of people thought Diddy had street ties too. But Diddy actually grew up in a rich area of New York called Mount Vernon. Diddy wasn't hustling in the streets when he was a kid like 50, because Diddy was going to a private school, playing football, and serving as an altar boy. Then after he graduated from the private school, Diddy went to Howard University and majored in business. Diddy and Rick Ross were both capping about their lifestyles, and 50 had major issues with both of them. So after Diddy and Ross started rocking with each other, 50 turned up the heat and took more shots at Diddy. In 2010, 50 did a radio interview and called Diddy a bloodsucker and said his music sucks. 50 dissed Rick Ross in the interview too, and said that Diddy should stop comparing Ross to Biggie Smalls. Diddy didn't respond directly to the interview, but he clapped back at 50 when he named his new crew the Supreme Team. Kenneth Supreme McGriff is the dude who tried to get 50 killed back in the day, and McGriff's gang was called the Supreme Team. Diddy was obviously taking shots at 50. So 50 aired Diddy out again
Y'all
in another
niggas a
interview.
Supreme
50
team.
said that Diddy isn't an artist because he doesn't make his own music.
Huh? You know what's interesting? He has he's not an artist.
He has an album.
Yeah, but he's not an artist. See, an artist would be someone who actually wrote something on the record.
Diddy responded during his speech at the BET Awards post-show and said, "Hate is for suckers. If you hating, you a sucker, and you're ashy, and you're
I don't know how niggas don't know how to rap.
You hating ass
After
crap."
being around so many
50's
rappers
biggest
and
issues
niggas
with
rap
Diddy
for you,
weren't
think
getting
you know
aired
how to
out
rap?
yet. But in
Eventually,
2010,
like,
50
I
dissed
understand
Diddy
not the
for
same
using
type of
Notorious
rap, but
B.I.G.'s
yeah.
name for money. Diddy and Jay Electronica linked up for the track that goes to Christopher Wallace. And 50 started a petition on Twitter to make Diddy stop using Biggie's name. 50 also talks about Diddy's speech at the BET Awards and called him a bitch.
To describe Puffy in one word is a... See, you know
They
how...
said Diddy make it, made Puff pay for his own funeral after he died.
That wasn't the end of the story though. And 50 was about to drop a bomb on Diddy. Diddy's downfall
Diddy
all
bomb,
started after his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against him. Cassie claimed that Diddy had been abusing her for years, and the lawsuit made headlines everywhere. Diddy and Cassie settled out of court one day later, but then the video of Diddy attacking her in the hotel leaked, and that's when everything really kicked off. Cassie didn't file the lawsuit until 2023, but 50 exposed the situation all the way back in 2010 during the interview. 50 said that even after the Mace deal fell apart, he'd still kick it on the phone with Diddy. Someone was sending photos around of Cassie Ventura, and 50 let Diddy know about the situation.
Puff, he called, we should kick it on telephone after the Mace. Man, they sent me the girl pictures.
Cassie already had news that were leaked, but 50 said the photos he saw were worse. Way worse. Like penetration pictures.
Not the shit that y'all saw. Worse. Way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man.
50 was trying to help Diddy and Cassie out when he knew that the photos were getting sent around. But then 50 realized that Cassie never even wanted to take the photos, and it was all Diddy's idea. What's crazy is that the interview didn't even really blow up, and most people never even heard it. Then a month later, 50 did another interview and said that he had talked to Diddy and made it sound like everything was cool. For a couple years, it looked like the beef was really over. But then in 2012, 50 made a post out of nowhere and exposed Diddy for allegedly hooking up with James Cruz. James Cruz has connections all over the industry and has done business with Diddy and 50 Cent too. Nobody knows why 50 exposed him like that, but Tony Yayo pretty much confirmed the rumors when he did an interview with Vlad TV. Apparently 50 and James Cruz got into some kind of fight back in the day, and 50 yelled at James Cruz and said, "You fuck Diddy."
He said James Cruz F Diddy.
After that, 50 was trolling Diddy like crazy. 50 posted a photo of Rick Ross and Diddy where it looked like they were about to kiss, and 50 captioned it, "Good morning, girl. Love is in the air." Diddy, Rick Ross, and French Montana linked up for the track Big Homie, and 50 called it garbage. It was clear that 50 had some real personal beef with Diddy, but he was also using the drama to make more money. Diddy had a deal with Ciroc Vodka and was known for pushing the brand everywhere he went. Then in 2014, 50 got into the vodka game too and made a deal with Effin. The deal was huge for 50, and he started making headlines by dissing Diddy and Ciroc. 50 was taking shots at Diddy's homie French Montana too. 50 posted a photo where it looked like Diddy and French Montana were basically cuddling. And 50 said, "What in the effing vodka world is going on in this picture, man? Something not right." Diddy clowned 50 and said that he was sending him a lifetime supply of Ciroc. And then he dissed 50 again and said that he hopes 50 appreciates Diddy opening all the doors for him.
I welcome him into the game, It's good to see somebody of my color out there, represented in this field. And, hopefully he appreciates me opening up the doors for him continuously.
French Montana was recorded shouting out Effin while all the vodka drama was going down. And it was clear that Diddy pressed him about it, because a few days later, French Montana shouted out Ciroc and dissed Effin.
I guess 50 don't know DMX, you run CT, right?
Damn!
French Montana even dumped a bunch of effing bottles in the trash.
That's how I feel about your bullshit.
After the video, get the bottles, niggas, get the bottles, what the fuck?
And then 50 claimed that Diddy assaulted French
video,
Montana, just like he did James
I bet
Cruz.
niggas in the workers got to grab them bottles.
French Montana throwing bottles of effing in the gums. Puffy called him like, "You said you fucking like this shit. You fucking bitch. You put your record out, don't you? You fucking dummy. You fucking playing. They fucking putting us out of business, you fucking asshole. You better do something."
The beef about the vodka kept on going, but 2018 is when everything really started popping off. Diddy went on Drink Champs and was acting weird the whole time. Diddy was saying suspicious stuff the entire interview. But the part that went viral was when he told Fabulous that he wanted to party with him for his birthday.
Did you miss me though? For real. Because we I'm saying? It seems like a thing.
I miss
his
partying
birthday
with
party.
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
50 clowned Diddy over the Fabulous situation. Then he exposed another crazy story about Diddy. Back in 2003, Diddy and 50 were both at Chris Slattery's wedding and ended up sitting at the same table. At that point, there wasn't any beef. But while they were at the wedding, Diddy told 50 that he wanted to take him shopping.
He said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Slattery's wedding, he told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
After that, 50 wasn't comfortable being around Diddy anymore. And in 2024, 50 told The Hollywood Reporter, nah, I'm not fucking with this weird energy or weird shit. 50 said that even though he worked with Diddy a few times after the wedding, they were never friends. It was all just business. According to 50, Diddy is just a business person who takes advantage of artists and doesn't actually make anything. And since 50 is a real rapper, he didn't respect that. 50's Breakfast Club interview went viral, and Diddy clapped back on the same show. Diddy talked about the shopping story and said he was just being nice because he thought 50 needed some new clothes.
I asked 50 about that, and he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes.
Diddy was throwing shade in the interview, but at the same time, he said there wasn't any beef and claimed that 50 loves him.
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with I don't know why. With Fif, he loves me. He loves me.
The situation got quiet for a while, but then in 2021, Diddy made headlines when he started dating 50's baby mama, Daphne Joy. Daphne Joy and 50 had a son together named Sire in 2012, but the relationship didn't last long. 50 said that he wasn't pressed about it because he only fights with Diddy over business, not women. 50 was obviously heated though, because then he posted a photo of Sire and said, "That's your mommy over there with Puffy. Remember what I told you the other day? These bitches be crazy." The beef died down after that. Once the video leaked where Diddy put hands on Cassie Ventura in the hotel, 50 hopped on Twitter and started clowning Diddy again. After all the legal drama with the feds started, 50's been dissing Diddy like crazy. Diddy couldn't clap back at 50 anymore, so his son Christian, aka King Combs, stepped up and started beefing with 50. King Combs dropped the track pick aside and raps when all they had was 50 Cent, who put the city on the map. Stop lying. Pop's been hated on by so many men, and nigga, that's fine. They gonna try to stop these M&Ms, and they gonna die trying. Pull up to the south side, we locked, and we got ties. 50 clowned King Combs on Instagram and said he felt so threatened by the things Christian is saying on his record, and I'm afraid for my life. Please don't hurt me, guys. Everyone knows that beefing with 50 is a bad idea. And after King Combs dissed him, 50 brought up a lawsuit that claimed King Combs sexually assaulted a woman named Grace O'Marque. King Combs, Diddy, and some other people were on a yacht back in 2022, and Grace O'Marque was working on the boat. According to the lawsuit, King Combs forced Grace to drink tequila that had been spiked so he could assault her on the yacht. Then Meek Mill hopped into the situation and dissed 50 for beefing with Diddy's son. So 50 clapped back and dissed Meek Mill for falling off and clowned him for the rumors that he hooked up with Diddy. Meek Mill got dragged into the situation after a dude named Lil Rod sued Diddy too. In Lil Rod's lawsuit, he said that Diddy was hooking up with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. And it was clear that he was talking about Meek Mill. Meek Mill was freaking out all over social media when the lawsuit came out. And after DJ Academics read the lawsuit while he was streaming, Meek said he couldn't wait to see Academics in person.
Diddy was going down, nigga.
He started making weird tweets about how much he likes hooking up with women. And after Meek dissed 50 over the King Combs situation, 50 started trolling him like crazy and posted a fake video of Diddy and Meek Mill in the Rick James music video. Diddy's son isn't the only one in the crew who sent shots at 50 though. A producer named Stevie J has been affiliated with Diddy and his Bad Boy label since the beginning. Back in the 90s, Bad Boy had a team of producers on the label called The Hitmen, and Stevie J was one of them. And after 50 started clowning Diddy for the lawsuits, Stevie J hopped on Twitter and said he wanted to shoot the fade with 50.
I want to shoot the fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis?
50 obviously wasn't worried about Stevie J though, because a couple days later, 50 took the trolling to another level when he posted a photo of Diddy's face mixed with Jeffrey Epstein's. 50 hasn't been the only dude taking shots at Diddy, but he's co-signing everyone else's disses too. In 2024, in 2024, Gucci Mane dropped the track Take That and rapped, "I got a young Miami bitch from the city. I'm spending money like a trick. No Diddy. I rock pissy yellow diamonds. No Diddy. But she can't be underage. No Diddy.
Damn.
Extendo with a switch. No Diddy. Folks passing pills like frisbees. There's rumors that Diddy paid some goons to blow up Kid Cudi's car because he was hooking up with Cassie back in the day. Gucci rapped about it on Take That and shouted 50 out too when he said, "Diamonds dancing on my chest, no Diddy. But I blow a nigga car up like Kid Cudi's. I'm on the yacht taking shots, no Diddy. Pay for top from the thought, no Diddy. Some niggas wanna box me, I'm not 50. But get a nigga ass touched like Biggie, no Diddy." It was a wild track, and 50 was loving it. And around the same time, 50 showed love to Kesha when she dissed Diddy at Coachella. On the track TikTok, Kesha said, "Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy." But at Coachella, she changed it and said, "Wake up in the morning like fuck P. Diddy." 50's been clowning Diddy ever since the lawsuits came out, and he's even making a documentary about Diddy for Netflix. 50 has also been saying that Diddy got Tupac killed, and it turns out that Diddy has ties to a dude who killed one of 50's homies. Jimmy Henchman is one of the most notorious dudes in the rap game. He was a street dude who got involved with the rap game back in the 90s, and he allegedly set up Tupac to get shot when he was in New York. That's the moment that sparked Tupac's war with Biggie Smalls in the whole East Coast, and rumors said that Diddy was involved with that too. 50's crew had major beef with Henchman, and Diddy was allegedly there when it went down. It's not clear how it started, but 50's manager, Chris Lighty, got into an argument with Jimmy Henchman while 50 and Diddy were both in the room. According to a witness, Chris Lighty ended up hitting Henchman in the face, then Diddy jumped in between them and broke it up. Jimmy Henchman was managing the game while he was beefing with 50 Cent, but rumors say there's way more to the story. And in 2007, 50's homies Tony Yayo and Lodi Mac spotted Jimmy Henchman's son on the street and allegedly put hands on him. When Jimmy Henchman found out what happened, he put a bag on Lodi Mac's head, and in 2009, Lodi Mac was shot and killed in the street.
Damn.
Jimmy Henchman got hit with a life sentence over the situation, and rumors say that Diddy knew about the hit and didn't do anything. According to Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Dill, Diddy also knew that Jimmy Henchman was going to set Tupac up.
So it didn't surprise me at all that Jimmy Henchman probably told him, "Yo, I'm about to teach this nigga Pac a lesson for saying crazy shit and talking shit to me." Because it wasn't supposed to be a shooting. It was only supposed to be a robbery. But you never know what happened when people carry guns.
There's no evidence yet that Diddy knew about the hit on Lodi Mac or the Tupac setup, but the feds have way more info that's going to be coming out. And the case is looking so bad for Diddy that even his lawyers are quitting. Diddy's lawyer, Anthony Rico, quit in February 2025 and said, "Under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs." Nobody knows why Anthony Rico is quitting, but it must be something crazy, because Rico's even defended famous terrorists. Anthony Rico's most famous case was when he defended Osama bin Laden in court. So if he's able to work with a dude like that, and not Diddy, there's no telling what's about to come out during the trial. Nobody knows what's going to happen next in the Diddy case, and the only sure thing is that 50 Cent is going to be trolling him the whole time, no matter what happens.
Fox News. Sean Combs, The Reckoning, official breakdown, episode 1, bro. Haven't even came out. This shit getting crazy.
Things are happening, and it's like, I want to fight for my life. I want to fight for, just and not guilty. Like, I want to have a life to be able to live. It's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it. God forbid, get in front of a jury and have a chance. And so I'm having this emergency call because something has to give.
We need the core theme to be, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong on any front. And you've come to New York and face things head on. If anyone's ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing, you handled this with complete honor.
I don't think it's working. I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop.
We're losing sight of the big picture, man. It's the middle of September, and there's still no indictment.
Then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be a person that you just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. We have to find somebody that'll work with us, whether they're from this country or from another country. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest dirty business of media and propaganda.
When you're a leader in that way, it's admirable until you get to the point where you want to control everyone around you. he got to that point.
It's like Scarface, the movie. I want the world and everything that's in it. It's Diddy style, right? But you got everything. Hey, yo, New York, we did it!
Damn, he ain't got the key to the city. It's insane.
It was a mantra that Sean had. Nobody's gonna be bigger than me.
Sean is the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. We'll never see a Sean in my lifetime again. Ever. It was like the more money he got, the more power he got, the more power he got, the more money he got. And he always felt like money can get him out of everything.
I do feel it's important that we let the public know from the juror standpoint, just kind of how we reached the verdict. It's not everything that the media has put it out to be.
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack, King?
He's creating a narrative always. He is the best storyteller in hip-hop. He thinks he's Black Superman. I can do what I want.
Damn.
You can't go on for long in life doing the things that he was doing before something eventually happens. You can't continue to keep hurting people and nothing ever happens. It's just a matter of time.
Brown, what have you. It allows them to get a clearer picture, stretch the defense horizontally faster, right? And it also diverts the defense think a tick longer, which they clear the tissue.
Still a whole lot of crazy shit going on. You know, I'm waiting until they knock it down. Wait, doing it down.
Like, that shit was crazy to me that shit wasn't there, which is a sign to me like, time to go to the future. Time to go to the future. That was a little building. Yeah, for the building that I got ready to his son. You know what I'm saying?
So this before his damn, Rico and shit. Yeah, Rico, but you get what I'm saying?
Gifts for the outdoors and the outdoorsy.
Puff is in this position where he has all this turmoil, but he's not at the point where he's saying where I went wrong. He's saying to himself, how do I get out of this?
Right though.
Maybe I can convince some witnesses that I'm not the guy who I am.
Right though.
Eventually, he's going to get to the point where he's going to ask himself, how did I get myself into this situation?
Boy, this shit getting crazy.
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just, here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, longtime rival of Sean Diddy Combs, talked in an interview about the new Netflix docuseries. 50 Cent has addressed his involvement, explaining that while people may think he's speaking out due to their beef, he said the tension began years ago when Diddy made comments that made him uncomfortable, such as offering to take him shopping in a way that felt like Diddy was testing his willingness to play along. 50 Cent made it clear that it's not personal. He's speaking up because of the situation, not because of old issues.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years.
Like real talk.
It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like, maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
Moreover, 50 Cent framed his need to speak out as a defense of the culture. He made it clear that this isn't about putting hip-hop on trial. It's about holding Diddy accountable for his actions alone. He stated that his silence would imply the hip-hop community condones such behavior, so he spoke up to show that it does not.
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors.
On the project itself, 50 Cent argued the documentary's power lies in its truth. He said that even if Diddy dislikes certain moments, he won't be able to deny their reality. He believed that deep down, Diddy would recognize how well-made and impactful the project really is. According to him, people are already calling it one of the best documentaries they've seen in a long time. So even though some scenes may make Diddy uncomfortable, he'll still see the reality behind them. In 50 Cent's view, the truth is unavoidable, and the documentary will present it clearly and powerfully.
Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he'll say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
The documentary's most damning evidence is security footage reportedly showing Diddy physically assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie in a hotel hallway in 2016. The security video captures him punching, kicking, and shoving her. Diddy has since publicly acknowledged the video on social media and taken responsibility for his actions. This clip has been cited as key evidence in discussions of his past behavior and legal issues.
Hey you guys, it's Zach from Pedal Commander.
Past behavior and legal issues. Netflix also obtained a behind-the-scenes clip that reveals a critical oversight, the complete breakdown in his legal team's coordination. In it, a frustrated Diddy admonishes his advisors, exposing more than just pressure. It lays bare a fundamental failure in the unity and effectiveness of his defense.
To me, I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together.
On the other hand, Diddy's team claims Netflix used the footage without authorization. They stated the material includes private moments, unfinished pre-indictment recordings, and legal strategy discussions that were never intended for public release. According to them, the footage was produced under a separate, incomplete arrangement, and no rights were ever transferred to Netflix. They assert that a payment dispute between third parties does not grant Netflix permission to use it. His team emphasizes that none of the footage came from Diddy or his staff and questions how and why Netflix decided to include it. Diddy's team: we have confirmed that Netflix used footage that was never authorized for release, including private moments, pre-indictment material from an unfinished project, and conversations involving legal strategy that were not intended for public viewing. The footage was created for an entirely different purpose, under an arrangement that was never completed, and no rights were ever transferred to Netflix. A payment dispute between outside parties does not create permission for Netflix to use unlicensed private material. None of this footage came from Mr. Combs or his team, and its inclusion raises serious questions about how it was obtained and why Netflix chose to use it. The details behind obtaining such sensitive footage were discussed on The Breakfast Club. The hosts revealed a critical oversight. Diddy's usual cameraman had sent an unpaid replacement whose footage likely fell outside the original legal agreement. This error, reportedly discovered by Diddy's lawyers only after the documentary's release, means the raw footage may have legally belonged to its purchaser, likely explaining how 50 Cent obtained it. This opens the door to material Diddy never intended for public release, raising questions about whether 50 Cent is exploiting Diddy's legal troubles.
Diddy had a video person, a photographer that was always with him.
Right.
These couple days, that video person sent someone and didn't come on his own. Diddy has a legal agreement, from what I'm being told by his team. He had a legal agreement with that videographer, photographer. They're not for sure if it covers this person that would have sold or whatever, however 50 Cent obtained this footage. There was also a disagreement between Diddy and this person who shot this footage. This guy was never paid, and they didn't find that out, his attorneys, until this documentary dropped. So all of that stuff, edited, unedited, that was shot in that time, they are, I mean, if they bought it and they owned it the right way, and Diddy's team is still checking that out, it's there to be used. So we're about to see some things that I'm sure if he was in control of, we might not have seen.
On the other hand, Peter Rosenberg also criticized 50 Cent's approach. He explained that 50 Cent has, deep down, been waiting years for this moment to confront Diddy. He referenced their history dating back to the early 50s with the track How to Rob, which angered the entire industry, Diddy included. Rosenberg noted that figures in the business tried to push 50 out, and when combined with his street troubles, it nearly cost him his life. Now that 50 Cent is successful and untouchable, Rosenberg posits he views all this as payback, an exercise that is fun and light for him, because he no longer cares for the industry's opinion.
But somewhere in my soul, I think Diddy been holding on to this, looking for an opportunity to come for Diddy. since 50 put out How to Rob early.
I mean, yes. Listen.
Because the whole industry, remember, the whole industry at that time, if you're old enough, of a certain age, you remember that they was mad at 50 for, talking like that in that song. And they tried to really squeeze bro out of the game. And then obviously the streets and other things, shenanigans was going on, which almost ended 50's life. But then he returned.
Digging nigga named Supreme.
No, I'm telling you. Yeah, and it's all fun and game. It's all funny and fun and games to him now.
Feel free in the
He don't care.
Oh my God, no.
Dame Dash offered a more scathing critique, accusing 50 Cent of handling the situation poorly. Instead of publicly exposing another black man during a vulnerable moment, he feels 50 should have addressed things privately or stayed out of it. To Dame, making a big documentary about Diddy's problems only helps outsiders profit from the controversy and makes the community look divided. His message is that this approach lacks unity and doesn't benefit anyone except the people watching from the outside. Dame Dash said, "Never trust a black man that will make a documentary tearing down another black man for a white man. That's nasty work." When directly questioned about Cassie's role, 50 Cent left no doubt, stating he believes she is unequivocally a victim. He reasoned that her youth and vulnerability from the outset left her open to a decade of psychological conditioning.
She's a victim in all this.
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, you conditioned for it.
Moving ahead, the analyst Soul criticized 50 Cent for making a documentary about Diddy, saying it feels personal rather than objective. He suggested that 50 Cent's motivation isn't the story itself, but lingering feelings about his son's mother being in love with Diddy. According to Soul, 50 Cent is overly focused on Diddy and letting past personal emotions drive the project rather than presenting an unbiased account.
I think it's important to...
He says it's not personal. Obviously, it is personal if you did a whole documentary about Puff, man. Yo, 50 Cent, you really on this dude's jock. You on this nigga's jock heavy, man. Me personally, I don't believe nothing that you say. I don't believe that Puff...
What a white man cashing out on us. The white man and the white woman cashing out on us.
Your son's mother was in love with Puff, and she left you, and you was in love with her. And Puffy, she was just something for Puffy to do. And I think you're upset with that, man.
Ultimately, regardless of the legal disputes over the footage or the debate about 50 Cent's intentions, the documentary presents an undeniable core. It spotlights the severe allegations against Sean Combs and the visible evidence of the question of whether this project serves as a long-awaited public reckoning or a personal vendetta is left for the audience to decide. What remains clear is that this story has reached a point of no return. The tapes are playing, the testimonies are public, and the conversation about accountability, power, and what the industry has tolerated for decades is now front and center. Thank you for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, please like and subscribe to stay updated.
Shout out to The Truth Is. So the Diddy documentary is coming out. Well, it's already out, I think. So we just trying to you know what I'm saying?
Just a few days back, a new documentary about Diddy was released on Netflix. Hilariously, the documentary was produced by 50 Cent of all people. In the documentary, we got a closer look at Diddy's demeanor in his final days before his subsequent arrest. Netflix somehow acquired never-before-seen footage of Diddy. It appears Diddy was filming a potential documentary in the days leading up to his arrest, but after his arrest, he scrapped the project. Because of this, the videographers ended up not getting paid, and eventually it seems they sold the footage to Netflix, which they used for this documentary. In this unseen footage, we see Diddy's last days in the free world, and provided a glance at what a giant looks like when the walls are closing in. Another thing the documentary did a decent job at was showing how Diddy used and abused everyone he came in contact with since the very beginning. From his artists like Biggie and Craig Mack to his enemies like Tupac and Suge Knight, and even his lovers like Cassie and Kim Porter. Diddy abused them all. This documentary shows why Diddy is truly a monster, with those who spoke in his documentary confirming many of the allegations made against Diddy. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos of revealing information in this new Diddy documentary. The first thing I instantly noticed was this interesting looking chain Diddy was wearing at the beginning of the documentary. The pendant was shaped like a triangle with a strange design in the middle of it. The symbol is actually called the triquetra, and in the occult world, it is used as a protection amulet. I don't think there's even a need to say what this chain also represents. We already know Diddy is a member of the club. I do find it interesting that they opened this documentary with that footage, showing Diddy squeezing on the chain like he truly felt it was protecting him. This shows how deeply Diddy was involved in the mystical, proving my point that I have been making since 2021, that a lot of the evil Diddy does is rooted in the spiritual world. There is something truly evil powering Diddy's actions. Another part of the interview that I found important was the charity basketball game Diddy hosted that ended in tragedy. Diddy cost the lives of his fans over 20 years before Travis would. The documentary implied that Diddy set up this charity basketball game and overhyped it. This led to the event going over capacity and causing crowding issues. With the lack of staff and the surge of people coming in, the event ended in several people losing their lives, being crushed by mobs of people. In the documentary, they demonstrated how Diddy refused to take any accountability, refusing to acknowledge that he was at fault for 9 people losing their lives at an event he hosted and planned. Something that really stuck with me was the fact that when Diddy went to create Bad Boy Records, he decided to put the company under his mother's and his best friend's names. He did this to protect his assets just in case the families of the victims who lost their lives would attempt to sue him. This showed that Diddy genuinely didn't care about the 9 people who lost their lives at an event he set up. He was responsible for keeping the event at capacity. He was also responsible for having the right amount of security and staff. But his desire was to host the grandest event that would make him look like a big star, but ended in disaster and tragedy. Diddy refused to acknowledge his role in the tragedy and took the necessary steps to protect the only thing he ever cared about, his reputation and his money. This truly showed how since day one, since before Diddy was a hip-hop mogul, he was already the monster he is today. Something that the documentary demonstrated again when they showed footage of Diddy interacting with his fans. During a part of the documentary, they showed Diddy in the streets interacting with some of his fans. Diddy appears to be all cheery and happy when he talks to his fans and stops to take pictures with many of them. But when he was done interacting with them and got back in his car, he started making comments on how dirty he was from mingling with the people, literally saying he was going to have to take a bath in boiling water and peroxide. Diddy was showing that he saw his fans like peasants, reinforcing that he uses everyone he comes in contact with, even his fans. He uses his fans to make money and to feel like a god. But deep down, he's disgusted by them and feels dirty after interacting with them. His love for the fans is all fake. It's just a part of Diddy's manipulation.
Education and training you can count on, just say, I count on.
The documentary was the segment about Tupac. Last year, the world discovered that Keefe D was finally arrested for the death of rapper Tupac. For years now, Keefe D had openly admitted to being a part of the situation that led up to his death. A death that not only Keefe blamed on Diddy, but also others involved in the situation. In the documentary, they played a police recording of Keefe D being interrogated where he confirms Diddy put $1 million bounty on Tupac and Suge Knight's head. Keefe claims that after Tupac and his crew jumped Orlando Anderson at the Mike Tyson boxing match, Keefe linked up with Anderson and their crew and went looking for Tupac in the area. When they found him, they ambushed Tupac and took him out, hoping to collect the reward Diddy had put on their heads. The next day, Keefe claims he sent word to Diddy, who asked him if Tupac's death was at their hands, which they confirmed. The detective in the documentary even confirms Diddy made a $500,000 payment to a middleman who was supposed to redirect the money to Keefe D and his crew. But the middleman kept the money instead. The documentary seems to confirm the rumors that Diddy paid for the hit on Tupac, which means he is the reason Tupac is gone. In the documentary, they made it clear that P. Diddy was always envious of Tupac. Tupac was the star that Diddy wanted to be, so Diddy became obsessed with ending him and taking his place. There was a part of the documentary where they showed just how much Diddy hated Tupac. As one of the male escorts who was paid to participate in the freak-offs for 8 years, recalled the day when he was at a freak-off with Cassie, and a Tupac song happened to start playing. The man claims Diddy instantly was triggered and told Cassie to take his music off. The man also confirmed that he had only ever seen that reaction from Diddy when that Tupac song came on. This indicates 2 things. Either Diddy still felt hatred and envy for Tupac, or he felt guilty for being the man responsible for his death. maybe even a mixture of both. This documentary makes it pretty clear that Diddy was the one responsible for what happened to Tupac, something that all these years later Diddy never paid the price for, just like he never paid the price for the club shooting incident with J-Lo. Now, I have spoken about this several times before, so I would make it brief. In the documentary, they show exactly how Diddy set up Shine to take the fall, which again shows us how he uses and abuses everyone he comes in contact with. The documentary reveals that Shine's lawyers were in fact Diddy's lawyers, with Diddy hiring them not to defend Shine, but to set Shine up to make sure he wouldn't go down for it. The lawyers purposely tricked Shine into admitting he shot the weapon, convincing him to go with a self-defense claim. The only thing is, if you know anything about New York, then you know there is no such thing as self-defense when it comes to firearms in New York. Firearms are strictly prohibited in New York City, unless you have a weapons permit, which is extremely difficult to acquire. You can't use a firearm at all. By Shine's lawyers telling him to go with self-defense, he admitted to having a weapon and discharging it. They did this so they can pin all the blame on him and paint Diddy as an innocent bystander. As if he admits that he used the weapon, he's taking fault for the entire thing. While Shine thought he was holding Diddy down and he had a plan to get them out of the situation, in reality, Diddy only had a plan to get himself out of it by sacrificing Shine. Again, showing how Diddy uses and abuses everyone he comes in contact with. Diddy committed the crime, and then those close to him paid the consequence. He never paid the price for that club shooting, just like he never paid the price for what it seems he did to Biggie. In the documentary, they seem to suggest that Diddy wasn't only behind Tupac's death, but also behind Biggie's. Those being interviewed claim that although Diddy pretended he was close friends with Biggie, he never truly was. Instead, he was actually jealous of Biggie because he was the star and was talented. Diddy always wanted to be the star. He always wanted to be praised. So he didn't like that Biggie was getting all the attention that he desperately wanted. This was clearly depicted in the documentary when they claimed Diddy heard Biggie was chosen to be on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. So he stole the cover from Biggie and had them feature him instead. Parts of the documentary seem to suggest that Diddy also set Biggie up to die on the trip to Cali. Biggie met his demise after he went to Cali after the death of Tupac. Nobody ever understood why Biggie would even dare go to Cali after Pac's death, as they had been beefing right up to his death. Many people felt that Biggie and Diddy set Tupac up in that quad studio situation. So when Tupac was killed, fans of Tupac naturally hated both Biggie and Diddy, especially on the West Coast where Tupac was based. So Biggie deciding to go to Cali after Pac's death was a death wish. But for some reason, Biggie still chose to go to Cali and never returned home. After he died, people asked Diddy why he allowed Biggie to go to Cali. Diddy always denied any responsibility and claimed that he was just following Biggie's lead, insinuating Biggie was the one who wanted to go to Cali, not him. Those in the documentary debunked this though, recalling that it was all Diddy's plan to take Biggie to Cali, despite all the warnings that they wanted his head out there. Biggie even refused to go at first, but Diddy was persistent, convincing him to go to Cali, and while they were there, he even canceled his appearances he had outside of Cali to make sure Biggie stood out there longer. On top of this, in the documentary, a former employee of Bad Boy claimed Diddy tried to scam Biggie's legacy after his death. The former Bad Boy employee claimed that Biggie had just re-signed with Bad Boy right before his death, but after he died, Diddy needed his estate to sign the deal since they now represented him. So Diddy tried hiding new terms that favored Bad Boy in the contract by switching out pages of the original contract with new pages that Biggie had never agreed with. When the employee refused to scam Biggie's family, Diddy shortly fired him and possibly did it anyways. So not only does this documentary suggest that he was responsible for Biggie losing his life, but on top of that, they accuse him of trying to steal his money after his death. But the most shameful thing Diddy did was milk Biggie's death, dropping songs and launching his own music career using his death as marketing. He never cared about Biggie. All he cared about was money and his ego. Another thing the documentary did a good job at was demonstrating how Diddy used and abused Cassie like everyone else. The documentary showed how Cassie was only 18 when she crossed paths with Diddy. He then used the power dynamic between employee and boss to take advantage of her and ended up turning Cassie into his literal pleasure slave. They showed Capricorn Clark retelling how Diddy went after Kid Cudi when he found out he was messing with Cassie. Clark recalled Diddy using her as bait to threaten to hurt her if Cassie wouldn't return to him. This shows how Cassie was trapped, and it wasn't as simple as just walking away to get away from Diddy. Diddy kept her captive against her will. She didn't really have a choice. And we saw confirmation of that with the hotel footage, as when she tried to get away, Diddy didn't let her. People like to disregard Cassie's story because they claim she wanted it, and she only went after Diddy because Diddy didn't love her anymore, didn't marry her, and she never became a star. They say that she chose to get with Diddy and stood with him after seeing what he really was about. So because of this, they don't see her as a victim. But in my opinion, Cassie, while not completely innocent, is still 100% a victim. Let me explain why. Cassie was only 18 when she met Diddy, very young and stupid. And Diddy started pursuing her the moment he saw her. She wanted to be a famous artist, and Diddy offered her that opportunity. In a sneaky way, he used his music industry power to get access to her, and then took over her life. Yes, Cassie could have said no and walked away, but then she would have lost her opportunity to make it in the industry. Chances are, if Diddy dropped her, her career would be over, and no one else would give her a shot. You gotta look at it like this. Imagine if your sister went to get a job and her boss told her that if she wanted that job, she had to let him do whatever he wanted to her. Your sister would likely say no because she knows there's other jobs out there that won't require her to do this. She doesn't need to compromise herself for this opportunity. She can just go get another job. But what happens when there are no other jobs? When this is the only opportunity and it's either do this or starve? Now your sister is desperate enough that she might fold under that extreme pressure, allowing this man to do whatever he wants to her because she needs to work and she feels like she doesn't have a choice. It's either do it or go without eating. That's exactly how it goes in the music industry. A lot of these artists were desperate for a shot, especially in the 2000s, when it was much harder to get in the industry. If Diddy wants you to compromise yourself, you can reject him, but you have to expect that other labels are not going to give you a shot either. You have to expect that turning down his demands could mean the end of your career for good. Which, don't get me wrong, I do understand doesn't justify selling out and compromising yourself, but it does show why some of these artists willingly do it. Is either do what Diddy says or chances are they're not going to get another opportunity. And think about it, Cassie was only 18, still a naive teenager, and Diddy used her dreams against her to take advantage of her, and turned her into exactly what he wanted. So yes, Cassie could have said no, but she was still very much a victim. The same way Kim Porter was a victim, and the same way Little Rod was a victim too. Little Rod, just like everyone who came in contact with Diddy, fell for the same trick. He saw working with Diddy as an opportunity to make his dreams come true, while Diddy saw him as another person he can use and abuse. In the documentary, Little Rod describes how Diddy participated in violent crimes around him, injuring one man in a studio, then covering it all up. Little Rod also talked about Diddy violating him by sedating him and possibly having his way with him. After putting up with all his demands, when he was done working with Diddy, he was still in the same spot he was when he started, and Diddy even refused to pay him. In the documentary, Little Rod called Diddy a gatekeeper, something that if you have been following my channel, you know I've been saying since 2021. When exposing Diddy was seen as a crime by the masses, Diddy is definitely a gatekeeper, or at least he was. The same thing he did to Little Rod, he did to just about every person that ended in his web. He used them and abused them, and when he was done with them, he threw them away like trash. Everyone who participated in this documentary was afraid of Diddy. They all waited for Cassie to launch her attack and see how that went before they spoke up too. They all feared retaliation from Diddy. People say all these people deserve what happened to them because they chose to work for him. But ask yourself, what starving artist in the 2000s would turn down the opportunity to work with Diddy? The moment Diddy asked any artist, they would all say yes, not knowing they were entering a trap. Once they were in that trap, Diddy made it difficult for them to get out of it, only releasing them once he was done using them. The most interesting part of the documentary was watching Diddy manipulate people and the media, telling people they had to fix the problem he created for himself.
Get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
Or using the careers he gave his artists to convince them to make statements in his defense. Throughout the footage, you see how Diddy successfully manipulated the trial and the masses. The jurors, the fans, the masses bought into his manipulation because Diddy spent millions buying the media. This is why he was only convicted on lighter charges, allowing him to get back out in no time and do this to many others. If you think Diddy is gonna change, think again. Diddy had the power to be a good, honest leader, but instead, he fed off anyone who came in contact with him in order to build himself bigger and bigger, becoming the monster he is known as today. Diddy deserves life in prison. He deserves to spend the rest of his life behind bars. And if you saw this documentary and wasn't convinced of that, tell me why in the comments. As honestly, all this doc did was confirm everything I have been saying for 4 years now. I pray Diddy one day can see the error in his ways and truly surrender to God and ask for forgiveness. I also pray that all his victims find a way to heal and get the justice they feel they deserve. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Crazy shit. I'll be back. And like I said, man, we know who's gonna bank the most off of this shit. Is the white people, you know what I'm saying? Because they like the big platform, Netflix and all this other goofy shit. But like I said, man, beef is beef. You know what I'm saying? They've been having beef for a long ass time, and Diddy fucking up. He didn't dot his I's and cross his T's with this shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck you don't pay the nigga who recording your shit before you get arrested? You supposed to pay that nigga off exponentially. These supposed to be the first one you niggas to be paid. Cause these niggas ain't no loyalty in the game. There ain't no loyalty in the game, especially if you're a billionaire. These niggas like, how the fuck I'm not getting paid? And this nigga's a billionaire. That nigga with the 50 cents quick as fuck. But like I said, nigga, I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully don't fuck up the Diddy shit and he do get out. I don't fucking know. This is getting ridiculous. And we out to this. Good and outside, big crip in the game, that's our shit.
Hey Dad, you know dog, when we link up dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.